Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're back on the Caddy. We're going to be doing some show prep for the Alpine Volks fair, which has just been announced fairly recently. We're about 4 weeks out at the moment. I got a lot of stuff I want to get done to this thing if we're going to try and make it. So that's what we're going to be covering in this video. First thing up that we're going to be doing is trying to take off this factory pinstripe. That's I guess would be the original stickers that were put on the truck back in 81. I've already started on the other side, taking the pinstripes off because I got a plan for different kind of strap package I want to put on this thing. But you can see on the front corner here where I've already kind of started. I've just been taking the heat gun to it, pulling the loosening the glue up to pull the old pinstripe off, and then going back over with some steel wool to smooth it back down. It'll give us a nice somewhat scuffed surface to put some paint down for a new strap package. So like I said, got this side done. We're going to be working on the other side. Let's get to it. So my buddy Brett came over and helped me knock out the rest of the pinstripes. So all of that's been removed, and as you can see behind me, I've been working on the next phase of the body work, I guess you could say. I kind of wanted to do a patina kind of theme to this. I didn't really want to take the paint off and intentionally make it rust, so I've been playing with some different techniques with some paints and stuff to give the truck a little bit more of a rustic look without destroying the paint. So I mean, I could always take the spray paint back off later if I decide I didn't like the way it turned out. But I think I've got a decent technique kind of down, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing to make the truck look a little more rusty. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking these two different colors of paint here. I've got this Rust-Oleum Metallic Rust and Rust-Oleum Flat Burnished Amber. I'll take the darker color and put down in some random little spots, and then kind of go back over with like a light kind of dusting with the lighter color. These don't spray very uniform, which would typically be a problem. I don't know if it's just I got a bad can of paint, or if I just haven't figured out how to use this spray tip yet or not, but it does pretty good to make it look somewhat authentic of a rust kind of design or pattern or whatever. So I'll get to spraying. That's the basic gist of how I'm putting the paint down. I'll let it dry for a good while, let it harden up, and come back over it with some finer grade steel wool and kind of shape it up to what I want it to look like. So as you probably can see, it's not very uniform in how it sprays. It kind of splatters, which does kind of make it look more like paint because you can tell that the splatters come from a specific direction. But the little specks do make it look a little more authentic with, you know, kind of how natural rust forms. I've done a lot of looking online at different pictures of different trucks that are actually rusty to kind of try and see where these things rust naturally to try and make it look as authentic as I can. I mean, from a distance it looks okay, but as you get closer, I mean, you're obviously going to tell that it's paint. So we'll see. Once I get to the end and get the stripes on, I may like it, I may not, but so far it's looking okay. So we'll keep rocking and rolling. Well, I got all the paint put down that I wanted to put down. I think it's looking fairly well so far. Now I've let it dry for a few hours, so I'm going to go back with the steel wool and shape it up a little bit. Take it down in some spots, you know, kind of make it look a little better. So we'll see how it turns out. Well, I think that's going to do it for the fake rust that I'm going to put on here. Wasn't really sure how it was going to turn out when I started, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with the end result. From 20 feet away it looks okay, and even up close it's a little hard to tell where the real rust ends and the fake rust begins. probably, I mean, I've been staring at it all day, so I know what it used to look like, but for someone who's never seen the truck before, I don't know, maybe um, it'll look more like rust and less like a truck that somebody took a spray can to. So I'm going to do a little walk around, show you the whole truck, and then we're going to get started on putting the stripes on here. Well, I got all the paint put down, the stripes are done, and the brown rust color is finished up. I've been playing with some different techniques or methods of weathering down the stripes, and I think I found something that works pretty well. I'll start off with a wet or dry 220 grit sandpaper and just kind of thin everything down, since I had to put the paint down pretty thick in some places to cover up all the brown paint that was underneath. And then after I've got it roughed in with the 220, I come back, go straight to like a 1500 grit to take the biggest scratches out to where it doesn't look so uniform, like somebody's sanded on it, and then come back over it with the steel wool. I think it's triple alt steel wool, which it takes a lot of those even finer scratches out. I come back in with like a nail or a screwdriver or something like that to put some fine hairline scratches here and there, and then final once over with the steel wool. And then after I did all of that, I went back over it with the rust color to kind of uniform it up a little bit and shape it back up one more time with steel wool. So it's taken a lot of labor intensive hours to get it to this point, but I think I've got this side to where I would say that it's finished. So I'll do a quick walk around on this side to show you the end result, and then I'll probably do some kind of time lapse on the other side to show you how it turns out. Well, that pretty well takes care of the paint on this side. I think now I'm going to go back over the whole car kind of lightly with the steel wool just to kind of make sure it's good and uniform, and then I'm going to go over it with boiled linseed oil and mineral spirits mix to kind of put a coating over everything, give it a nice little semi-gloss kind of finish, and then protect the spray paint from being baked off in the sun and the rain and all that stuff. So hopefully it'll stay looking like this for a little while, protect kind of the whole finish from the elements. So we'll see how that turns out. So I did notice pretty fast that the mineral spirits that I put in here is strong enough of a thinner to start softening up the spray paint. So if you do this method where you have spray paint on the car and you want to put this on top of it, do beware that if you go back over the spray painted areas more than a couple of times, it's going to start pulling the paint off. So really what you have to do is get your rag wet, wipe over it one or two good times really quickly, and then move on to a new place. Because if that starts to set in and soften the paint enough before it starts to dry and you go back over it, you're going to start wiping your spray paint off. So do be aware of that. But otherwise, it went down pretty well. It's really easy, took only a few minutes, and it's already starting to flash dry. I guess because of how thin I mix mine and how warm it is outside today. But for the most part, I think that I am satisfied with the outcome of this. I'll let it dry for a little while and the paint will be done on this truck. And I think that's probably going to conclude this episode. Next time we're going to be moving on to fixing the steering column. Probably the bearing is bad, which is a common problem in all these cars. I've got the upgrade kit that I'm going to be throwing in there, and I'm waiting on suspension parts at the moment, which should be here pretty soon. And we'll be moving on to the next phase of the truck. As it looks right now, I should be good to have everything finished that I want to get done before we head out to Alpine Volks Fair. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.